What do Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Richard Branson all have in common? One, they're some of the most successful people in the world. Two, none of them got a college degree. So, my name is Matt with Highline Financial Coaching. Today, we are talking about, can you make money without getting a college degree? So my goal today is to prove that you do not need a college degree to make money in this world. When I was in high school, we were taught that we needed to go to college. We had to do at least a 4-year degree, if not a graduate degree, to be able to succeed in today's market. And so that's what I did. I did really well in high school. Then I went to a great college. I went to BYU in Provo, Utah. And it was an incredible opportunity, great college to be at. And then I went out into the job market. And what they do, when you go to college, what they do is they teach you how to work for someone else. They teach you how to work for another company. And they charge a crazy amount of money to do that. I know the college I went to was very subsidized. And so I didn't have to pay a ton of money, but still I left BYU paying over $30,000 for my education, and that was back in the early 2000s. So at that point, I paid for my college. I worked full time during college, and it was a huge strain to be able to afford it, pay for it. I remember going to and buying my books and just about crying when I left the bookstore, because it was $500 for books, and some of the dumbest books I've ever read in my life, I had to pay hundreds of dollars to get these books. So today we're going to go over some of the things that you can do to be able to make money and not have to go to college for it. So first, figure out when you're in high school, or figure out before you go to college, what do you want to do? What are your goals? I can tell you some of the goals that I had, and to be honest, I didn't even come up with these goals till after I had been in the job field for years, and after I had gone back to work on my MBA. Some of these things weren't real clear to me. One of the things I wanted is I wanted a job where I could be close to my family. Growing up, my father traveled all the time. He was out of town every other week. He was a sales manager for a company here in Utah, and every other week my mom was a single mom. So I remember how difficult that was for her and how difficult it was for us. And when he was home, we were so excited to have him there. He could attend all the events that we had. So one of the things I wanted was to be close to home, which if you know my resume, you know one of my jobs, it was an international director of business for a medical device company. So I was out of town all the time. I was traveling all over the world. So part of my goals and desires came from that, being in other countries when events were happening at my own house. So that was one of the things I wanted. I also wanted a job where I didn't have to work 80 hours a week to make money. I didn't want to have to be there all the time, and felt horrible if I needed to take a day off, because with a family the size of ours, there are going to be things that you need to take some time off. So as you're deciding what to do, figure out what it is that you want to do and the direction it's going to take. Now, there are a lot of careers that you will need a college education, a 4-year degree. And if you're going that direction, do everything you can to get that education done and move to the next level. If you're going to be a doctor, you need an undergraduate and a graduate degree. If you're going to be a professor, you're going to need those degrees to be able to get there. I am not talking to those people. This video is for those that are trying to figure out if a college education is what they need. Now, there are trade schools. Trade schools are incredible. If you're in the trades, if you want to be an electrician, a plumber, a contractor, specialty of any sort, also cosmetology, hygiene, nursing. There's so many different routes that you can take that you may not need to get a full 4-year degree before you get the certifications needed for these other careers. And they're incredible. I've coached people from every level. Small business owners that are contractors do extremely well right now, especially in Utah. The construction industry is doing so well. If you're in any of those trades, you can make more money than you can with a 4-year degree. My son is in a construction role, and last year when we went to do his taxes, it blew me away. He's 21 years old, and he made as much as I did my first year with a 4-year degree. Given there's a 20-year difference there, but I was just surprised by the amount of money he could generate as a 21-year-old kid in the construction world. So that is another route that you can take. Now, any route you take, you're gonna need education to be able to perform that job or perform that role very well. So make sure you do that. May not be a 4-year education. I know a lot of the things that I do as a coach, I learned from the education I got after my 4-year degree, my education in life. I'm a financial coach now because of all the different ups and downs we had over the past 20 years since I graduated college. We've had more financial things happen after I graduated college, more than any university could teach me. So I did a bunch of finance classes for my degree, and not one of them really focused on personal finances. And that's what we do at Highline Financial Coaching, is help you with those personal and those small business financial questions and issues that you run into. So also take a look at, get to know some of the people around you. Colleges are based, they create employees for people. They're not as strong when it comes to the entrepreneurs. If you're somebody that feels like you want to go down that entrepreneur route, a 4-year degree may not be the best thing for you. Look at, like I said, Bill Gates, Russell Branson. These people, it was not the route for them. And I remember being in college, and it wasn't clicking for me, because being an entrepreneur was more of what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a business that helped people, given it took me 20 years to get to the point where I'm at now. And that's where it is now. And again, there's a lot of colleges out there that are not trying to educate people on their career. They're educating you on so many different political issues and other issues, social issues, that you're never going to need to know in your field. So keep that in mind when you pick the college you go to. Is it more beneficial to go to an Ivy League college? And that, I'm going to leave that to you. My personal opinion is no. I have not. I remember Elon Musk was asked why he didn't go to Harvard, and he said, "I have a lot of people from Harvard working for me. So if you're looking to have your own business, you're going to find people that fit the need that you have." And a lot of people were made to be a CEO. A lot of people were made to be an engineer. Your strengths, figure out where those strengths are, because you'll enjoy your career a lot more if you follow those strengths and not fall prey to some of the things that a 4-year degree may push you into. So I know when I went to college, I'm a sales guy. And I went to college, learned. The one thing it did for me is it helped me get into Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. I would not have even been able to turn in my job or my resume if I had not received a 4-year degree from a reputable college. So again, there's a lot of things you got to think about when you're deciding that. But also remember, depending on where you go to school, if it is more of an Ivy League, an expensive college, and you don't have a scholarship or you don't have somebody helping you out with that, it costs a lot of money. And I can tell you, a lot of the people that I've coached go into their first career with a hefty amount of student debt. The worst I've seen so far is $760,000 of student debt. And that's going to put you in a hole. If you're not doing a career that's going to make enough money to pay that back, don't go to one of those expensive colleges. You got to be able to pay that money back, because, we see the last video I did was about student debt. It is some of the hardest debt to get rid of and overcome. One, because the government keeps arguing about to pay it, not to pay it. They also don't make you pay payments on it, but they still keep accruing interest. So most people will pay more in interest than they do the debt that they take on. So when you're taking on that debt, look at it, double and triple it, and see if you're willing to pay that much to take on that type of debt. So there's a lot of things to consider. There are many reasons to go and get a 4-year degree, but there's also many reasons to go a different route. I've seen, like I said, I've coached people from every aspect, and there are reasons for both. But the question that we asked at the first is, can you make money without a college degree? And the answer is yes, you can, and you can be extremely successful, just like some of the most successful people in the world who did not get that college degree. So if you like this video, subscribe, send it to friends, post your comments. We'd love to hear from you. My name is Matt with Highline Financial Coaching.